Hello, folks. We're here.
We got Billy Jack with us today.
Yeah, we're here. I just want to remind you that crab wrestling season is on its way.
I don't think they can see that. It's
coming.
pretty low.
The long-legged crabs coming down from Alaska, and we'll have to do some crab wrestling to get some more, to get another
Belt buckle.
Yeah.
belt buckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
What's on your belt buckle for everybody who can't see?
That's it. That's
Crab.
Crab.
What kind of crab?
It's a metal crab.
Or it looks like an Alaskan king crab.
Yeah, could be.
I'm a crab.
Mine.
It,
Mine.
And I want
I'm
to
a
also send good wishes to my foster son, Mark, who was taken to a hospital, a life flight to a hospital with brain cancer, and we hope things will turn out all right.
Yeah, and I found out a little bit more about that. So he wasn't life flighted. He's good.
He
So,
is?
yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the subject for today was advertising, and is it ethical for Big Pharma to advertise drugs to people on TV and all that, and physicians to advertise services, and dentists to advertise their services, and pharmacies to advertise their services, and it used to be years ago that was an unethical practice to do that sort of thing, and then all of a sudden it got to be okay, and so I don't know what you guys think about that, but we could go ahead and discuss what we think about it. You know, is it ethical for the Big Pharma to advertise? Is it ethical for physicians to advertise? We'll cut you easy, you know, and dentists to advertise.
Uh-huh.
Dentists?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, Ellie.
I think it's unethical.
I do too.
I think that there's way too many things happening that we don't see for them to be advertising, I can speak, putting these things out into the universe for us to click on and to be a part of, and we don't know the full story. That's
Okay.
that's the sweet and dirty.
Yeah, you know,
Putting out in the universe?
there was one. There's a commercial that's out there right now, and I just Googled it. It's from Lilly. You know, the
pharmaceutical company.
pharmaceutical
They
company.
do so many clinical studies.
They do, and this current commercial is seeking, and they say, so that's the only word they put on the screen. They say seeking, and then they go to looking for people in the industry. So it's not seeking, it's seeking people to be on groundbreaking, you know, research and development to cure things. Those I appreciate, but Lilly also is big pharma, you know, so you don't know if they're trying this angle now to get more. I mean, you go to the fair, and there's a booth there for Lilly,
Which is crazy.
which is
it's
crazy.
mad. Yeah.
And it's a big booth. There's like 10 people, and they try to bring you in and do these things and tell you what's wrong with you, and then this drug will help you. It's really pretty incredible. But I do know that it's illegal in other countries to advertise.
What does the EU
Drugs.
think of all this? I'm just curious because I don't know. What's illegal in the European Union?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, if the company is at the end of the day is trying to sell more product,
Yeah,
then they have to advertise.
yeah.
Do they, if they have a product that's reputable? If they have a product that's gonna cure cancer, do they need to market it like they're gonna cure cancer like that? Or will people just know about it because it will cure cancer? What's something good that people haven't marketed that works?
Oh boy. Have you heard about benefit auction services?
Most countries do not allow pharmaceutical companies to advertise prescription drugs directly to consumers on television. The United States and New Zealand are the only two countries that permit this practice.
New Zealand?
In most other countries, prescription drug advertising is restricted to medical journals or directed at healthcare professionals.
Yeah.
My nose just ran, sorry. That's crazy. Two countries, New
Right.
Zealand and us.
My,
What kind
my,
of government does New Zealand have?
my
That's the other
brother
question.
Bob used to work for 3M company, and he'd go around with samples and stuff, giving it to physicians. A nice thing about that is that you could get some free drugs sometimes before you had to go to the pharmacy to get it. And so that worked out pretty good sometimes.
That could be illegal too, though. Free drugs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like my dad, they tried this new drug on his eyes, a new shot, and insurance, because he wasn't within the time frame, wouldn't cover it. So the doc gave him a sample.
Oh yeah, they do that with birth control.
Yep, they
All
gave him
the
a
time.
sample, and it just feels like advertising. It's everybody's wanting to fill their pockets, which is what this is all about.
I
But
would say as long as medicine is privatized, you have to allow advertising, because you're essentially putting people in a position where they are doing what's best for their customer, who is the patient, and the patient is informing them on what they think is best. And my wife is a perfect example. She gets convinced like once every other year that she has a sinus infection. And she goes in and she says, I have a sinus infection. I know it's a sinus infection. Just give me antibiotics. And I make fun of her because she goes in there and tells the doctor exactly what she thinks she needs. And then he prescribes it. She takes the medicine and the cold inevitably goes away. That is a perfect example of how the entire healthcare system is run. So when a patient comes in and says, hey, I heard about this new medication, what do you think? That doctor is incentivized to give the patient what they want to move on to the next patient.
right, but do you agree though that should happen in doctors' offices? Like a doctor could be able to say, these are the new drugs out there, go research this, because you have Google. But if the only two countries that are allowing it are New Zealand and the United States, that speaks to me. Why does Canada not, I mean, and their socialized medicine, Europe, basically two countries.
But it's socialized medicine, right? I mean, it's not private industry, right? So if it's socialized medicine, then it's basically the government's deal. But then you have a whole different problem, right? The government says that you take this drug because this is the drug we all take. So now you have no choice whatsoever. So is it better to have an input on your health care or not?
Well, I do think that you can have an input on your health care. Like if you are diagnosed with something, then the doctor should be able to hand you, there's these medicines out there. And we're all responsible for our own health, right? We know that. But a prime example is the, Ozempic, and how that is flashed over and people were just using it that were not doing the other things, right? And so that got kind of a bad thing. And then they gave it to people in salons to the point where if somebody really needed it because they were really having a difficult time and they were eating right and they were doing all the things, then it made it impossible almost for them to receive the drug through insurance because it's been abused.
So let's take Ozempic. Like, the reason there's a demand on an Ozempic is because we all know what Ozempic is.
Do we?
No, I don't.
It's a household name,
It's a household name.
We know
right?
what it
And why
does.
is it a household name?
Because all the movie stars and stuff took it to get super skinny.
And how else?
Advertising. Yeah.
If
just-
that was some miracle drug that sat in a research facility that no one ever heard of, would it have the demand it does currently?
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe that's the point.
Maybe that's the point, and maybe that would be why insurance companies would be less apt to stall somebody that has done all the stuff they needed to do. And now they're saying, no, you have to be X, Y, and Z, and that's just
Yeah.
shitty, but I
I
mean.
would say in a perfect world, you would want it to be a data-based approach on everything. There would be no vested interest in you going with medication A over medication B. Like in a perfect world, you would just want the data to speak to whatever's best for your person. But I don't think that's currently the healthcare system we have in place.
Right, I would agree with that.
And it's hard to draw the line to say, okay, physician, I see physician is listed here as an example, but you come out of, you get your MD, and you come out, you're trying to be a practicing doctor. How do you get business? By advertising.
Mhm.
So,
No.
right?
No. You usually get hooked up with another doctor or a group of doctors to get started on it. So you don't advertise yourself to try to get going. I don't think that's what they do. But then the advertising comes with that group of doctors. We will be carefully cut you open, and we will, do all this stuff
Yeah.
and see to your good health and so on. And then they can go on to their own, because there's a long a line of stuff they have to do in order to be able to do that. And so, they're
I think it's interesting that if you watching a movie, for example, if Mark and I are watching like Jurassic Park right now, even though you guys like Jurassic Park, it's kind of geared toward mine and Mark's generation because of when it came out, the older ones.
oh yeah.
And depending on what movie you're watching, on whatever station you're watching it, and we've put this to the test. Different drug commercials for our age will come up on that.
Yeah.
Like the blue,
Really?
yes. So like there will be, there's a drug about when men's testosterone drops at a certain age.
No,
That shows up on there.
Not in a movie theater, but on TV maybe.
When's the last time you were at a movie theater? There's advertising at a movie theater today.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there's advertising at movie theaters today. So my point is that they are, the algorithms or whatever are seeking that generation that may be watching that, and they're.
That's scary too, though. Like, you're watching Nickelodeon, they're gonna be like promoting.
Well, but now, so to test that, we watched St. Jude's pops up on the kids shows,
That's a good one.
and that
That's
could scare a
kinda
kid.
scary. Like
St.
childhood
Jude's
cancer?
pops up. Yeah.
Let me call your attention to this one thing down here, which I don't have my glasses on, which is,
This last one right here.
what does it say?
It says, does government have the right to regulate an organization or business from advertising?
That's one of them. And
Civil rights of a business owner.
yeah, the civil rights to the business owner. That's how advertising got going. And in this country, as they saw people like Painless Parker, you probably don't remember that, but it was a long time ago. Painless Parker was advertising dental stuff, and I don't know whether it was good or not, but the idea that he was a kind of a renegade in the advertising business, in the dental business, people kind of took that on. Well, what happened though is that the attorneys kind of took on the civil rights aspect of advertising, and it's like, these people advertise. Don't I have the right to advertise? Yeah,
I wonder if are we headed down a bad road with all this advertising of these new drugs, right? And is it just giving more and more and more power to the drug companies? I don't know that answer. I feel like it does, and I feel like it's,
For sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, they have more power because they have bigger budgets,
Yeah.
right? Like they're putting a lot of money into this, and as soon as they do find something that cures cancer or whatever the next miracle drug is that comes out, like they're going to try to market it to the best of their ability to make it happen.
And
Like, because they want to make money. Like, look at, I mean, we watched Pfizer
yeah,
like peak and not fall, but like they were at all-time highs after the COVID vaccine came and went, right? Like they were the household name for the COVID vaccine, the one to get, and people were going out of their way to get the Pfizer vaccine. None of us would have known Pfizer had they not like made it so.
Yeah.
So, but the power lies somewhere, right? To say like don't advertise to your citizens essentially means now you're putting the power in the government and in boardrooms at medical facilities.
Yeah.
And is that the solution to the problem?
or do we need to solve the problem by educating the patient that has the disease?
Well, how are you gonna do
I
that?
agree more with that, and I think that the other piece to it is transparency. I think that these big companies do not have enough transparency.
And
And
Mrs.
so-
Mrs. Jones suddenly comes down with a case of, some kind of rash or something, and she doesn't know what the hell it is, and so what's she gonna do? She's gonna, look through, see if she can find some stuff, or she's gonna go see a doctor. And the doctor is gonna tell her, well, you've got, prickly, something or other, and, give her some medicine for that, see? And so then she, carries the idea that this kind of medicine is good for that sort of problem. And, so, yeah. They say too, that, the thing about, miracle drugs is that they need to be used before they go out of date. That is, the, like the penicillin needs to be used before penicillin is no longer effective. And so the next drug will be there. And they need to use that before it goes out of date. That is to say, it goes
Expires.
beyond its usefulness, yeah. So, you know, that, I've heard that from physicians. And
I'm not convinced that expiration dates have anything to do with marketing. I think that they're just gonna make more when the old stuff expires.
Maybe.
But I don't, I
So,
think it's hard, I don't know.
yeah, I was sharing with you a little bit that like one of my favorite podcasts is doing this AI summit right now, and they had somebody come up and speak about how they're using AI in medical specifically, and essentially what they're talking about is some of these sites have started incorporating AI, and what they're doing is they're allowing the customer chart to be sourced by the AI. So rather than like having pages and pages of documents from multiple medical things, they're gathering that data and presenting it to the physician or the nurse, and then they're able to make the decision based on the information gained. And maybe that's our answer here, right? Is when you can actually surface the data in like a very all-encompassing viewpoint,
Non-biased.
it
And then what is
becomes
the best,
much,
yeah.
it becomes much easier to diagnose. Because I think the other thing we're up against with healthcare specifically is like, I have had health issues in a certain sphere. Well, I go to like different doctors before I get the diagnosis I need, but every doctor, I'm re-explaining what I've been through. And if I leave out one happening or
Yep.
one appointment, that data no longer hits their factor in judging.
Right.
So maybe like this is uprooted with like with the injection of technology. There's going to be a lot of people that buck that change, but I think it's going to be net benefit at the end of the day.
yeah, AI. Yeah, just look up AI. Well, all you do is shoulder it. Well, they got it down there.
Yeah.
You know, is Mount St. Helens a dormant volcano? No, it's an active volcano. All the volcanoes that I checked on, they're all active volcanoes around us, but they haven't blown up for like 5,000 years or
Yeah.
something like that. But the AI collects that kind of data, and somehow they've got the information that we need sometimes to do that. And I don't know
Well, and you
how
can,
big pharma's going to affect that.
yeah, and our interaction with AI specifically is like we are using a general intelligence, right?
Right.
So it's gathered a whole bunch of stuff and then gives us the answer. You could specifically make one of these applications to just be patient data,
They have
right?
one.
Their data set is just patient data, and then they present that, and that makes it a much stronger application. So, I mean, in terms of advertising, I don't think it's going anywhere. And like for the government to step in and do away with advertising in medicine is going to be a very hard boulder to lift,
I don't-
right? There's a lot of lobbyists that are paid a lot of money to ensure that everything stays exactly how it is.
And it's civil rights that is the issue there, you know.
Right.
It's, everybody else is advertising. Why can't I advertise? You know, what is that? You know.
I think my only issue with that, with having like governmental regulations on medications, I don't think it'll happen in the United States. Personal opinion, I don't think it will. I think that we're built too much on free speech, freedom of press, whatever. But if a medication is causing harm to people, then I think it should be regulated by the government. You should be slapped with it.
Yeah.
You can't do this. However, I don't know how you can, I don't know how you'd make, what would be the determinants for causing harm?
Right.
Because that could be argued in 50 different ways.
That's right. Like what comes to mind for me is the ivermectin during COVID.
Yeah, Jesus.
So
What's that?
Horse
so
warmer.
it was essentially like
Horse warmer.
it was an alternative to the COVID vaccine. Is that fair?
No, it was a group of crazy people. My older brother was one of them. That they believed that the health benefits of the ivermectin, that if they took this horse warmer, it would fend off COVID. Ivermectin.
Yeah. So it's a horse dewormer.
So it
but
wasn't a
also,
cure, it was
but also
a
the reason we think that
preventative.
is because the counter narrative was that these people are crazy taking this.
Right.
So my point is like this could be a drug, but if somebody is like advertising heavily that those people are crazy and you shouldn't be taking it,
It becomes crazy.
it becomes crazy.
Right.
So like it's really hard to take any one medicine.
But it is
not
horse
being
warmer.
educated. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but people put snail slime on their faces and say that it makes your skin look youthful.
No.
Snail mucin.
It's a hard thing to parse, right? Especially as somebody that's a layman that's not like in medical journals or understanding the data. Of it.
Damn.
Like it's hard to like.
Snail juice?
But also, I do that, and it's really wonderful. I really do love it. So.
Snail juice?
Yeah, it's like in a cream, so like it's all mixed together. Or like in makeup, they use fly wings to make it shiny. Like our lip balm has. You've never heard that?
No, I don't
They like
need
grind up.
Right.
So like all of these things, maybe a horse tranquilizer, a horse pill, whatever it might be, maybe that is the cure, and we'll never know because these people have been called. Well, maybe not tranquilizer, but
We start
who
giving
knows?
people butte.
And maybe it's the big pharmaceutical companies saying that's crazy, and they're putting that narrative out because they want to
True.
sell their product.
True.
Who knows?
True.
And honestly, like you can't. This is where who knows what the truth is,
Yeah.
and how do you find the truth,
That's
and where's
the
the
scariest
transparency?
thing.
And that like scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you get a headshot of somebody via AI?
You don't. That's the short answer. You don't.
All right, next time we're going to talk about sleeping naked. Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No.
Second vote. Yes.
Sleeping naked.
Sleeping naked.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye, folks. Remember, crab wrestling season is upon us, and that could happen here shortly. And thanks for coming, and write me an email. It's the Ivan 1933 @gmail.com.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good.
And yeah, write me an email. Where you think we're crazy or what we're,
No, it's definitely.
I'm gonna write you an email saying that I wanna talk about sleeping naked next week.
you what?
She's gonna write you an email. All right, bye.